everybody, welcome. Alright, so I have a vinyl haul for you guys. And this stack of records here pretty much got the ball rolling. I've been really lucky digging at the Swapmeet or thrift stores. Very little of what I have here has actually come from a record store. But I have been digging through those bins and trying to find something good. But I'll take the cheap thrift store vinyl hauls. Thrift store or Swapmeet hauls. Especially with this stack here. It's pretty much like a time machine for me because I'm listening to a lot of records from artists that I'm familiar with, some that I love. A lot of these are first listen, first exposure to that full album, so I've been digesting it, but I will slowly show you more of what I've been picking up in the last 2 months. I've been getting cassettes, 45, CDs, so let's get right into it. Starting off here with a cassette that I think is the coolest thing in the world. It is Waylon Jennings, A Man Named Hoss. It's just the standard pressing of this cassette, whitish cassette case here. But it's basically his life. He was asked to write a biography about his life, and he said in the intro that as he was writing it, he was talking about certain things that he experienced, that he saw, and he figured that if he released this while he was still alive, he would end up dead. So instead he did this vague sort of biography using some of the songs that he's written and kind of telling a story that way. So it's really cool. The prologue is the most badass thing I've ever heard. But you have songs like Littlefield, which is like where he's from, and then You'll Never Take Tex Out of Me, when he leaves Texas to go to Nashville. But I mean, there's a lot of great songs on here. For $1, I could not pass it up. I love his music, so I listen to that a lot now. This next one, I almost flipped my shit over because I remember this song from, or this group from when I was little. It's Electric Light Orchestra. It is a new world record. The song on here, Telephone Line, is the song that I just love so much. I remember hearing this in Spanish. There's a Spanish cover of it that my mom used to play. And I just remember hearing the doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, you know? And that was kind of stuck in my head. And then I remember watching Billy Madison, and there's a scene where Adam Sandler calls Steve Buscemi, who's this guy who he was bullying in high school. And he was trying to make things right and trying to fix things between him or whatever. And as he's sitting there in his room, he's listening to this song in the background, and that kind of reintroduced it to me, and I had been looking for this for a very long time now. So I don't know, I thought the scene was hilarious. So I picked this up, I listened to the whole thing like several times now, and this whole thing is really great. Like, this whole album is amazing. There's a lot of great songs on there, so definitely look up that song if you're interested in hearing what that sounds like. It's really trippy. And the last cassette that I picked up for $1 is Steppenwolf's 16 Greatest Hits. You have, of course, Born to Be Wild, which is the song that pretty much everyone's tired of at this point. It's still a great song, but man, it's on commercials, TV, movies, or whatever. But some other great songs on here, like Ride With Me, is probably one of my favorites. The Pusher is really dope too. Magic Copyright is good too. I love that one. That's also been used in movies, but not as much. It's Never Too Late. I mean, again, 16 Greatest Hits, and this is just like a clear pressing of it. So I've been listening to a lot of cassettes recently at work. I have a little tape deck and a speaker that I take with me, and I just pop one in and just kind of just dive into it. I also picked up some CDs. This first one here is kind of a blind pickup, Rush. Counterparts is the title of this album. I'm not a whole lot, I don't have a whole lot of Rush in my collection, and this again was blind pickup. I didn't know what I was getting into. I remember watching the movie Fanboys, and all the guy had, Hutch, in his van was Rush. So someone's like, oh man, all you got is Rush in here. Like, what about some variety? And he's like, bitch, Rush is variety. And that statement is so true because I listened to this and I thought that I was listening to a completely different band. I have been picking up some other stuff, and it just never sounds the same, you know? It's just a unique sound that they have. So I'm still digesting this album. There's a lot of music on here that I'm getting into, and I'm trying to just work my way through. So Definitely will continue to keep this in rotation. But yeah, it's just a really clean copy, and I picked it up for $1, so why not? But yeah, I love this this band. Starting to love it more as I listen to them. This next album, also I never listened to it in full. It's Common's Universal Mind Control. You have features from like Kanye West, CeeLo, Pharrell. Pretty interesting album. It's very danceable. I've never really listened to anything that he's released for this, so it was kind of all like just first exposure as well. But for $1, why not? And then I picked up 2 more just from the same thrift store. Nirvana, Live from the Muddy Banks of Wishkah. My favorite live album, with the exception of Unplugged in New York. You have a ton of, like, you know, singles. American Smells Like Teen Spirit, Been a Sun, Heart Shaped Box, and then you have some of the faster, more aggressive songs like Drain You, School, Negative Creep, Breed, Tourette's, Aneurysm, which is one of my favorite songs. I wish I could hear that live, like, just, you know, one day, be able to give it a chance to listen to one song, it would be that one. Because I just would love to see Kirk just go crazy. And I think a lot of the times they use that song to sort of just trash their set. I've been watching a lot of like live performances. I have the box set with the lights out, and I remember seeing him just go crazy. Same thing with School and Sappy. I remember seeing him go crazy too. But very unpredictable, very wild on stage. Picked that up for I think $2. And the last one here is a gem. Is Herbie Hancock's Thrush album. Thrust album. I don't own any of his music, so I had to get it. It still has a hype sticker on there. It's the 1974 follow-up to Headhunters. A Bible of early grooves and funky rhythms. This thing is super funky and super clean too. I love this. I already have it on my MP3, so I can listen to it whenever I'm moving around and I don't have a CD player to plug it into. But yeah, amazing, amazing album. I'm gonna be looking for more of his stuff whenever it shows up. It usually goes pretty quick, so I have to be lucky to get those. Now, I got some 45s. I have a single here from Fear for Tears. Tears for Fears. Jesus, I always say it wrong. The Big Chair on the B side, and you have Shout on the A side. Or I think it's the A side. Anyways, $1. I love that single. It's really clean. I love it. So I picked this up. And then I also got Willie Nelson's City of New Orleans. I don't have any Nelson in my collection. So this was a awesome pickup. I love how the eagle is chilling right there in front of that train. And it already came with the 45 adapter in the middle, so that was really cool. It's got this Sunburst Columbia inner label. And just love that. Almost, it looks like it's airbrushed portrait of him. So that was really cool to find for $1. Now, let's talk about the LPs here. Starting off with the record of the month from Vinyl Me Please, the amazing reissue of Gorillaz Demon Days. It is a double LP, gatefold. This thing has been getting so much play on my record player. Some people were talking about how their pressing was skipping. There was some issues with that. You can reach out to Vinyl Me Please. I think it's info@vinylmeplease.com. Tell them what happened, and I'm sure they'll help you out. Maybe send you another copy of this amazing record. It's a shame to have that happen, but sometimes it does. Mine played, you know, nicely throughout the whole thing. It's a double LP again. Come with these full color inner sleeves. The pictures from the front, and then on the inside, it's actually brought to my attention that the inner labels were actually variants of the pictures from the front. So that was really cool. Again, 180 gram, remastered, pressed at half speed on translucent red vinyl. So you have a very beautiful pressing of this reissue. They did it justice. Came with some stickers too. What else can I say? I mean, it's just a classic album, and the new one just dropped, so I'm gonna get into that as well. Hopefully I can get a copy of it. I already love the music that they released for it, so it's very promising. Now, This next stack here, the remaining records were all picked up on the same day from the same vendor at the Swapmeet. Worked them down to about $4 a record. I took the whole stack, so I was able to negotiate. That's the awesome part about the Swapmeet. Sometimes you'll find trash, sometimes you'll find something dope, and then you can negotiate on top of that. One record in particular is probably worth this whole stack and more. So I'll show you what that looks like in a second. But let's start off here with this. Aerosmith's greatest hits. I don't have any Aerosmith. Why not? I mean, you have Dream On, Sweet Emotion, Walk This Way, Last Child. It's a standard black pressing of the record, but the sleeve is in really great condition. Whoever lost their locker really took care of their records, and they had some similar taste to mine, so I was just going through this stack like crazy. And I already had like three or four people kind of shadowing me. They were standing over me, breathing down my neck. And I mean, I'm sure you guys have dealt with that. Sometimes people don't have any common courtesy and they're just like looking at what I'm going to be putting down. Initially, I picked up like 20 records from that stack. I only took these because these were the best condition. The rest were really beat up. There was this Portishead record, the debut album that I wanted to pick up, but it was just destroyed. So I put it back down. This guy just snatched it from this other dude. Kind of had to hold your ground a little bit, you know, but I managed to grab this. Alright, so this next record, I remember buying when I was younger. I got it at Target for like $5. I had heard his single, I Walked the Line, so I decided to go get it, and then I loved the rest of the music on this album. So to find it on vinyl is really cool. Since then, I've got my parents into Johnny Cash. I bought them the movie and they watched it for like a week straight. It has Folsom Prison Blues, A Boy Named Sue, which is my dad's favorite song, Man in Black, One Piece at a Time, which I really love. They actually play that at Disney. If you go to Cars Land in California Adventure, you can actually hear that song being played. So I'm always singing along to it. Walk the Line, of course, Ring of Fire, in the Jailhouse Now. Standard black pressing, and it's a heavy pressing too. It's like 180 gram. When I'm assuming is going to be an original pressing of this record. I think I saw it at Barnes & Noble not too long ago. So I don't know how original this, what type of reissue this is, but it's got this red Columbia label. Standard black pressing, again, super clean condition, just beautiful for $4. Why not? Now, I showed you the single. Now I'm going to show you the LP. I was super excited to see this in the stack. It's Tears for Fears, Songs from the Big Chair. You got Shout on here again. I believe Broken. This whole album is great, and this was an Amoeba record because it has this sticker at the. Holy shit! Just dropped my cassettes. It has a sticker at the very top. It says "Ask Clerk to see the disc." Usually they're very well sealed, and people want to look at them. So I don't know if this was on the wall or if it was on the casing below or whatever, but it's perfect condition. It's mint, and the record is super clean. And again, the guy took amazing care of his records, or the lady. I'm not sure who it was. But they had great taste, so I picked them all up. This next one here is this is probably the worst looking of the bunch. It's Queen's The Game. It's got this foil sleeve, which is probably why it looks so dirty. And I don't know what's on the back here, but it was a tape. I think they might have written their name on there. But you have Play the Game, Crazy Little Thing Called Love. Just a bunch of great songs on here. Another one, Bites the Dust, and then I think, yeah, it came with like a picture sleeve. You got a picture of all of them on the front there, and then the lyrics, track listings, production notes. It is falling apart, unfortunately, but it's still there. And then the white label on the inside there, standard pressing. Just a beautiful album. I think I have another one in my collection, so this is the second one now. Alright, this next one here is something that I listened to all of high school, middle school, every summer, countless times. It is Red Hot Chili Peppers' Californication, double LP. I think this is an original pressing of it. I love the artwork on this thing. That cover always just draws my attention, captivates me. really trippy looking. White label, Warner Brother, and then standard black pressing of the album. You have Right on Time, Road Tripping, which is so good, perfect for the summer. I Like Dirt, Velvet Glove, Get on Top, Californication, Easily. I mean, Around the World, Parallel Universe, Scar Tissue, Other Side. Side 1 here on the first LP's probably got all the singles on there that you probably heard on the radio. And this isn't even the one I was talking about earlier in the video that was worth pretty much the whole stack, even though it is pretty pricey to get. It's actually coming up. We're almost there. Okay, so on that same Rush tip, I picked up this one, Permanent Waves, I think is the title of it. Yeah, Permanent Waves. I love this artwork. It is amazing. It's catastrophic, yet it's comforting at the same time. It's just awesome. And then of course you have the back cover there. Standard black pressing, came in a poly paper sleeve, which is cool. And then it's on this really nice Anthem inner label there. I love this album. It's something that I feel stuck with me more than the other one. And I'm guessing this is the earlier stuff too, so again, correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, you got Spirit of the Radio, Free Will, Jacob's Ladder, just great songs to be heard. And again, this cover, just, I need that on a shirt. I want to wear it. It looks really, really cool. Okay, so here's the record that is pretty much worth more than the stack itself. It's Rob Zombie's Hellbilly Deluxe. You got this really awesome back cover there. This is the Enjoy the Ride reissue of this album. It was released for their anniversary. It's a gatefold. It came with this insert here that has pictures for all the songs that he did, which are really, really cool. Let me show you this record. This record is pressed in this like heavy 180 gram, cloudy, like orange sunburst kind of. It sounds amazing. I mean, this album I remember listening to, and that's when I started getting into Rob Zombie. Pretty much everyone's exposure to Rob Zombie. That Dracula song, Super Beast, Living Dead Girl is a really good song too. So for $4, I came up so good on this one. This version of this record I think is going for like 40, 50 bucks. There's another one that's going for like way more than that. But I'm happy I finally have that classic in my collection. And then this last one here, I think is something that everyone should own, probably already have owned in their collection. You can find them at thrift stores or the Swapmeet. Is Bob Dylan's Greatest Hits. This is like an iconic cover because I see it everywhere. You have Blowing in the Wind, The Times They Are Changing, It Ain't Me Babe, which is I love that song. Mr. Tambourine Man's another great song, and Rainy Day Women. But yeah, great condition. A little bit of wear on the sleeve, but you know. And then of course standard black vinyl, the red Columbia label. But there it is. This is the whole stack of music that I've been listening to for the last month. I'm excited to show you what else I picked up, so just stay tuned for that. Thank you for making it to the end. I appreciate that. If you think I deserve it, give this video a thumbs up. That would mean a lot to me. But yeah, if you want to follow me on any other social media platform, links are always in the description below. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you guys on the next one.